It's the weekend. It's Mailbag. On this show, I'm joined by Liam, Ian, and Dave P. A solar eclipse and a convincing 3-1 win against Newcastle in the summer's penultimate preseason friendly. We're going to talk a little bit about that maybe. But on this week's show, we've got Grealish, George, dream preseason games, kits, Moyes, procrastination. Definitely getting that one in this week. We're not going to think about it too much. Tat, hotels, clothes, and more. But let's kick off with some more red hot soccer chat. I'd like to start the show with some red hot soccer chat now. It goes down well. Dave, I'm going to come to yours first. It was a little aside, I think, but it definitely merits talking about. Mikalenko's turn in the box. Discuss. Matt Flusk described him as looking like a fainting goat, which I thought was quite good. But Dave, run us through it for anyone who maybe didn't see it in Wednesday's friendly.
I decided not to pay the £6 fee to watch the live stream. So I've only seen the highlights, the 3-minute highlight package on YouTube today. And it doesn't feature in that, surprisingly.
Oh, but it's strange.
But it's been clipped by a number of fellow Everton social promoters types, and he's in his own box, receives the ball on his right foot, I think, and turns anti-clockwise to try and... I can't work out if he's trying to pass it back.
No idea what he's trying to do.
I don't know either. But he falls... essentially, the ball kind of like bobbles away from him and he falls on his arse.
Under not much pressure either, really.
No pressure at all, because Newcastle weren't interested. No pressure at all. Just little pirouettes. You know, maybe it's the old Soviet Union in him. A bit of the Bolshoi ballet. Little pirouette. It falls over. And you're like, I've never been particularly harsh on Mikalenko, but that guy's just signed a new contract for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he can't stand up in his own box under pressure. And, this podcast has wasted many of people's hours of people's lives talking about the right back situation, and rightly so. I'm a bit more worried about left back now because that was terrible.
And not only that. I mean, he was caught out of position for a rare Newcastle attack, and he nearly did that Luca Dean foul that Luca Dean did in the World Cup, where he kicked the player because he got the wrong side of him, where he just got the ball, and then the goal in Stuttgart, he was out of position for that. So this idea that he's a good defender is a bit of a myth. I enjoyed the little sort of desperate stab at the ball he did with his right foot as he fell over as well. It was desperate. Anyway, we'll move on. Dave, we'll move on to your proper question. It's on the screen now.
Thank you very much. Good evening, gentlemen. It was a good win last night, but has the result? What did I say? Hang on.
There you go. It's on the screen now, Dave.
Yeah, I know. It's coming around again. This is like I'm on Sky Sports News or something. Has the Newcastle result exceeded or tempered your expectations for the new season, or has nothing changed?
Ian,
who are we going to first?
To me first. Sorry, Dave, to your question. Okay. Do you know what? It's made me a little bit more excited for the new season. I think Newcastle are going to be... I think they're going to struggle a lot next season. So that was only their third pre-season game against professional opposition, apparently. We've played 6, so they're way behind already. New manager in, no idea what he's like. A lot of players gone, so I think they're really going to struggle. So if we can convincingly beat them, like you said, Dave, they didn't look particularly interested, but maybe that's a sign of things to come next season. But I think what excited me was the young players in the team. I mean, Dave talked about this on Toffee Thursday quite a bit. It was definitely a show that was run by Harrison Armstrong, Tyreek George. I thought Tierno Barry, although not as young as those two, they're only 19. I thought he's looked really good pre-season. He's looked a lot better than he did last season. So I think he's coming on well. And Tyler Dibblin as well. I think he's had a really good pre-season. He's looking a lot more confident. Still got a lot to do, but looking a lot more confident. So I think those players in particular really got me quite excited for the opening day. I don't like to think anywhere past the midfield because I don't even want to look at the back four. Mark Travers was played well as well. He's had a good preseason because he's had to, really, because he had that many shots against them. But yeah, I'm kind of getting excited for Palace now, which is what you want, isn't it? You want to get up for these games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Who's next?
Go on, Liam.
Okay. I wasn't fortunate to see the game yesterday. I was working in the office. I was traveling back with the kickoff time, but a lot of good reports. Seeing the goals, the third one was incredibly well worked. So it was nice. I think it probably hasn't changed my expectations or hopes this season. I think you all know I'm pretty glass half full, apart from certain squad numbers, such as, I don't know, 16. But anyway, not pointing out individuals. Generally, I think that the thing I like about it is, I know we oscillate as a fan base, probably a polite way of putting it, but I feel like it just calmed one or two people down. I thought, as ever, I've not listened to all of us at Toffee Thursday before, and Les and Dave really eloquent. I know there's a lot of chat about the freakins and stuff, but I think it's just calmed things down. That actually, if they do get one or two players in place, we're not a million miles away. This doesn't need a total gutting and like the whole team needs transforming. It just needs. Even the Branthwaite situation, like it's not great that he's not played, but the communication around it has been really good, hasn't it? When he's not played in friendlies, they said this is a staged, managed, and the club wouldn't normally communicate that. Now, it might be because the manager doesn't give press conferences anymore. The club has to do it. I'm sure we'll get to that at another point. But I feel like it's not changed anything either in terms of me, but I like that it brought a bit more serenity to the fan base, in my view. From if we go off the echo chamber that is the Good Times Everton Podcast X feed, so I might be way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, mate. I think, yeah, it's one of those. It felt a little bit doom and gloom for me on Saturday, but like not in your world, because like you say, you glass half full a lot of the time. But I think a result like that, it does a lot to pick you up. It just,
say that cross. Sorry, I know we've got to stop picking on him. I know we spoke about that cross.
Yeah.
That was problematic.
Slightly overhead. It's not the first time we've done that this preseason. I think the thing for me, Ian, on this as well is I'm just worried Moyes will shy away from those players, let's say, who did particularly well in that game and revert to type. I don't know. Yeah, what were your thoughts on it all?
Well, I went to work this morning and there's quite a few Newcastle fans, so I went in like that. I says, lads, look at it. I says, a game of tiddlywinks or a game of football. I says, it's always nice to beat you. Like, oh, football fine. But I'm really looking forward to it now. I was at work obviously yesterday, so I only saw highlights of the game. But like you said, Les, the young lads are coming through. We haven't seen the best of Hackney yet. He's only been a bit part player. But yeah, Tyreek George's goal, the ball from Armstrong, the touch and turn, brilliant finish. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it now.
Good stuff. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I said this on I was fortunate enough to be asked on the weekly last week, and I said to Matt, I said I'm really looking forward to things now. I enjoyed the World Cup, and it was a real what's the best way to describe it? Sort of a palate cleanser after the end of the season, and sort of getting Everton out of your system, and I've it had been quite disappointing, but actually the pre-season games. We've won a couple, we've lost a couple. Now, no matter what the circumstances are, you've got two Premier League teams playing each other there, and that counts for something. Might not be the starting 11s that either team are gonna go with on the first game of the season, but I still think being 3-0 up, obviously the late concession. I really like Harvey Barnes. He took that goal. It's just a typical Harvey Barnes goal, but I mean, I could see him falling down the rankings at Newcastle, because I think you're absolutely right, Les. I think they're in for a real transitional season. Watch them be third. Watch them be third in November. But they're so yeah, and it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it, on football. Football discussions, groups, and football podcasts, but I'm very much Al Pacino in Godfather 3. Just when you think you're out, they suck you back in.
Do you know what the worrying thing is for me? Because I just saw, like Liam said as well, you just saw the highlights on YouTube or whatever it was, and it was Ian Snowden, and his name escapes as the guy who works at Everton. He had the dildo in his face on Sky Sports.
Alan Eamon.
Alan Eamon, that's
Yeah.
it. The ball went across the box and Harvey Barnes put it in, and he thought it was an own goal. And then he said, "Oh no, it's Harvey Barnes." It never looked anything like an own goal at all. So if they're doing any commentary next year in the Premier League and the next season, we need to keep an eye on it.
I think it's safe to say they won't be doing any commentary for the Premier League feed. They might do something else.
Just on your Godfather reference there, Dave, I always defer to Silvio Dante for that one.
Oh,
right.
Silvio Dante's, Michael is better than Pacino's. Discuss.
It's incredible. We'll stick with pre-season. And Ed has asked this. What would be your dream pre-season friendly for Everton? Either the home game we get or any away game /tour. Ian, where you going on tour? Or you can pick a home game if you want.
They're coming up to the Stadium of Light. Easy game up the Stadium, like easy to get there. Early kick-off and then spend the day on the drink in Sunderland, or vice versa. Late kick-off, spend the day in Sunderland and then get back home.
Sounds a winner. Needs to happen. Yeah. Maybe they'll try and get up there next season now.
Definitely.
Even if we haven't got tickets, I reckon we'll just pile up to Ian's.
Well, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, you never know. I might even have a party for my 50th at the end of January. So,
Cracking. There you go. Game on. Liam?
How about a little tour of the Amalfi Coast, playing Napoli is the big one, and a little couple of ones against like Sorrento and stuff like that. Just go down there, have to go and have a few limoncellos and pasta for a few days and just check it out.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Little tour of Italy would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anywhere in Italy, but yeah, the Amalfi Coast.
It's just, Italy, it's like, look at it. I've foreseen when I was younger, I'm getting better to get older. Sort of restaurants, you've got a load of people, you go to Italian restaurants because everyone will eat something there because it's just the best.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
That makes mine sound boring. Now we're doing the drink with the Northeast branch.
The Amalfi Coast or Wearside?
I didn't say I wasn't drinking. I just said we're just drinking wine rather than pints.
Pints of wine, Big Sam.
Yeah.
Dave, any advance on the Amalfi Coast?
Probably. I mean, that does sound rather nice. I've always wanted to go and watch a game in Napoli, but Barcelona is probably my favourite. Me and my wife's favourite European city, and they're probably my continental team that I keep the eye on the most. So it'd be fantastic to play against Barcelona in the newly revamped Nou Camp, I think, and that'd be a pretty good game to bring back to our place as well. So,
it would.
So yeah, I think that, yeah, or Carlisle United.
I don't mind it up there.
I went to the cup game there. When all the skips were full of settees and.
You say, did you have to canoe to the game?
Yeah.
Oh God, when we went, it was that cup game.
Yeah.
And the town was devastated, man. The city, sorry. Yes, you know what? A little tour of sort of the northwest. So like Workington, Fleetwood, maybe taking Blackpool. I don't know if that's a little bit too far down. Carlisle, be all right. That.
I went to Blackpool when I think it was under Lampard. I think we won 4-2 or something like that. I think it was, and he ran out of beer. By the time we got there, like, oh God, it's wine or cans of cider. Like, bloody hell, ran out of beer. We weren't expecting how many Evertonians were going to be there.
I think mine would be a little tour of the Balearics. So you got Real Mallorca, obviously. I think there's another team in Mallorca, and Ibiza have definitely got a team. So
Las Palmas and the Vinny Samways Classic.
Oh God, yes, let's do that. Yeah, little tour of the Balearics, that would be nice. Can you imagine the toffees on the strip in Magaluf?
We had that one in.
That'd be great.
Malaga, didn't we? And we had a friendly in Malaga just so everyone could go to Malaga for a weekend in 2012. Like no one bothered going to the match.
See, let's get back to that.
Wasn't it when we went to Madrid and got absolutely battered? 6-1 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got absolutely humped, didn't we? Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember it showed you the goals on the BBC News, like champions Everton, I think we were at the time, we'd gone to and just got spanked.
Yeah. Depression stuff, that. John has asked, first off, why doesn't Moyes F off? Lampard transition, no, but seriously, would signing Grealish be detrimental to the progress of Tyreek George, Dave?
No.
No?
Because, well, it depends what you mean by detrimental. Would it reduce Tyreek George's game time? Yes. But is that a detriment? Potentially, that the only detriment that is to is him, but not the team. Because, I think apart from the Leeds game, where he only came on in the second half, I think every game Grealish played in last year was better than the games he didn't play in.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think his experience and his professionalism, I think he's probably a greater asset for now. I guess that's probably what John's getting at in his question. There is do we? It's a bit more playing safe, isn't it? If we go in for Grealish again.
Yeah,
I mean, he'd be welcomed and appreciated and effective. And I think if you're Tyreek George, that might sicken your craw a little bit, but it could be just fantastic because maybe you're part of a team that's winning. Who knows?
Imagine that.
Yeah. So probably, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I guess that's a real splinters in my arse answer, that, isn't it? Yeah. So, sorry, John.
You've made me rethink my position, because I immediately thought, well, it'll reduce Tyreek George's game time, so obviously it'll be detrimental to development. But that's assuming that Tyreek George should play every minute of every game, more or less, and he's only 19, so he will need times out of the team when he will need times where he's not playing. My only worry with Grealish coming in is Moyes will obsess with Grealish, and Tyreek George will be back to getting 10 minutes at the end of games at best, which wouldn't be good for him. But I think overall, he is going to have to be rotated in and out the team. So, yeah, I'm on the fence as well now. Liam, where are you?
Yeah, I'm also on the fence with this one, because I think, as Dave kind of touched on, I think the professionalism. I think George is such an impressive age. He worked with good players at Chelsea, but seeing how Grealish conducts himself, and I know there's no he's about to go for drinking that, but you don't get to the level he's been at without having quality and without having dedication and stuff like that. I really think that does rub off. But also, there might be some games where we can mix her up. Now, the big caveat is whether the manager's willing to do that, but there might be some games where you want to be enterprising and you want to put, I know George can play as a false nine or as a striker, or you might want to put Grealish behind the strikers and George off the left. It gives you a bit more flexibility. So personally, I wouldn't be against it, although I know it would leave us with 5 wingers, as you've discussed elsewhere this week in terms of Dibbler and stuff. But I think it will happen because, and I don't want this to happen, but I suspect we're going to lose and dilate in the window. And I think Grealish will be the blow to cushion, because then you've got Johnson and Dibbler for the right, and you've got Grealish and George for the left, which, you kind of want 2 players in most positions, and it would be a real shame to lose and die. But if that money can be invested on 3 top quality fullbacks or 2 top quality fullbacks and a striker, all of a sudden, I know Tierno Barry's looked good in pre-season, I'd like to say, but all of a sudden, actually the squad looks a bit more balanced.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually, because as good as Barry's been this pre-season, we don't want to be going into the season with just those 2 options up front, really. No. It's a risk, isn't it? Ian?
I'd take him back, but we'd have to take him back on our terms. I think he'd have to probably come in and maybe take a pay cut, or if we get him back for 1 more season on loan, and then I think that he's got 1 year left on his contract, so we'll get him for free after that. But like you said, George is 19-year-old. How many minutes did he get last season from Moyes? Is he going to be the same? Is he going to give him more time? Because obviously we've seen how well he's played in pre-season. He's got his goal. His confidence is obviously high. So would he put him in for Lille? Would he put him in for the first game of the season? And obviously the way he's just come back to Man City training, was it yesterday or today? So Grealish is going to take a little bit of time to get up to speed. So we might end up getting Grealish deadline day. But yeah, it can only be good for Everton as well. Like I say, a bit of competition. Grealish's experience, how many free kicks he's won us, holding the ball up. His basic knowledge of.
He's still got the 3rd most assists in Everton's history as well, hasn't he? The way he started last season.
I think the thing with that as well, if he does sign, I think we need to have the conversation on number 16 again, because he will not pass to that fella, no matter what. No. So
I mean, that's more the reason why I like this fella. I'm not going to give him the ball. Sorry, I'll get off his back now.
Well, we'll move on. Tommy on patreon.com/the Blue Room Extra, $5 a month if you want all the ad-free podcasts and a couple of extras, including this one as a podcast, and you get the video of this on Patreon as well now. Anyway, Tommy has asked, have you ever had or are currently with a partner who actively supports the shite, i.e. season ticket holder, or goes the game? He isn't, and he couldn't, because it's a non-starter for him, because he doesn't want another reason for his wife to take the piss out of him, which I think is fair enough. The closest I've come to that is, so the kid's mum, she's a Red, all the family were like season ticket holders at Anfield. She never went though. And now Louise's son, so my stepson, he's cop-out and he goes to the game. We just don't really talk about football if we can help it. It's for the best. But, you know, Ian, I know you're a man in a similar position, aren't you?
Swamped. Swamped. When I was a kid, so we had my grandma, me Auntie Eva, our auntie, they're Reds, and our auntie became a Red because of obviously his mum and my grandma. And you all know the story, my 0-0 draw against Bayern Munich, how I became a Blue. And then when I first got talking to Louise on the old MSN Messenger, I was like, I think I was slagging Jamie Carragher off and Gerrard, and then I was like, oh, how do you spot Liverpool? Like, I don't believe it. And then obviously Leon, my stepson, he's a Red as well. So any derbies pretty much now, I'm either obviously at Hill Dickinson or in the past Goodison, or I'm at the pub watching it with the Everton lot. But honestly, Leon, when he was a bit younger, and he still winds it a little bit now, but they've never really rubbed my nose in it. To be fair, I haven't either when we've won, sort of thing. But nah, they've been pretty good at it, like, actually, really.
Yeah, I actually can't comprehend your football experience, you know. Being like one of very few Evertonians up there, living with two Reds, it must be murder. It's like,
yeah.
I'm amazed you're such a happy fella. My head would be everywhere, I think. Liam?
No, not actively. Emma, as I've said several times, good times, I love that she doesn't love football. It's great because it's haven from it. Couple of girlfriends when I was younger. One was nominally Liverpool. Well, they were both nominally fans. One of them never really bothered, but one of them was like Northamptonshire girls, she at uni. And then when I wasn't seeing her, but we were on friendly terms at the time, I remember she just started texting me after the Clattenburg derby, and it just wasn't the right time to be having a fucking pop. She'd go, she's watching a pub somewhere. She'd go, and I was like, I didn't reply for several days because I was just like, this is not funny. This is not. A few of my mates, good mates of Reds, we have like the taunt where we say, round derby week, we're just not going to talk. We're just love you, but I'll speak to you another time. No.
It's a solid system. I would recommend to anyone who hasn't got this system in place with Red mates or family members, just not talking football, full stop if you can. But even if it's just derby week, it's a good system.
What I would like to add, the worst one is, so my uncle who used to take me to the match a lot when I first started going, his daughter's a massive Blue as well. She goes to the match a bit. And then, but his wife is a Liverpool fan, but his son is like the biggest Liverpool home and away merchant you've ever seen. I mean, like I think he's bunked into every European final they could. You know, he's just as fake. He goes absolutely home and away. And it's like, I really respect it, but I can't grasp it. I can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
Love them, and fair play to them, because they're all committed fans to the teams, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
And fair play to Louise as well, because obviously I don't drive, so with us getting picked up at the Washington services, I live about 2.5 miles away. Match days, Louise gets out of bed, takes us to the services, and then picks us back up at night time. And
even on those Monday night games?
Yeah. Oh no, not Monday night games. I usually get a taxi or walk at like 3 in the morning.
Even so, good service all year round, that mate.
Yeah. I can't wait for them Monday night games. Bring them on.
Dave?
No, my wife's not into football. Her dad's a season ticket holder at Preston, so I tend to talk more footy with him. He's in fact he rang me tonight to say he's got a ticket sorted for the
nice
for the cup game.
I tend to go to some more than you this season.
No, I've never had that. One of my best mates, James, he's a Red. In fact, he's been to the Denby a couple of times. He really likes the Denby. He thinks it's great. But we have that exactly the same approach that you have, Les, and you have, Ian, which is we rarely talk footy. In fact, the last conversation we had with footy was back in around Easter time when I met up with him when we were in Wales on holiday, and it was after they'd been spanked by PSG the night before, and it was quite nice actually because we don't do it very often. But you know, he was just like, "Slot, he's just got to go. He's just got to go, Dave. He's got to go." You know, and it was nice just to be on the other side of the table for a change, you know, and listening to him have a good old moan about Liverpool and stuff. So yeah, but I don't think it would necessarily be a deal breaker. It's always better when you do get chatting to them when they actually go to the game. That's the real difference to me, because you know, you've got similar shared experiences, and it shows a level of commitment more than making fucking stupid videos and singing about your manager and all that shite that goes with that lot. So
no, I agree. And I think I'm talking to you about the PSG thing and moaning. He's sort of in our area there, isn't he? We can do this all day. This is what we're going.
Oh yeah,
I've got you. Dave, another question from you. It's coming on the screen now.
Oh yeah, right. So I don't want to give away too much of the behind-the-scenes magic of the Blue Room Mailbag group, right? There's a lot of talk about kits, right? And what kits are good and what kits are bad and all that sort of stuff. And I don't suppose anybody's even noticed that I never reply because I'm just not interested. Right? How important are kits to you, really?
Who's first here? Go on, Ian. You're chomping at the bit here, lad.
I love them. Absolutely love them. Get me from getting me first Everton kit as a kid, the 87 Championship winning one, to the present day. Even buying this, I'll get it. Like, if it is that green one, I'll buy it. I just love buying Everton kits, keeping them. My old ones are in a couple of bin bags in the loft, and I sometimes get them out and maybe wear it a few around the doors. But I love getting the kits. Really, really do.
They're also a good investment now. They're only really ever going to appreciate in value, so it's a good investment. Like Liam.
Yeah, but is it important? Is it important? I understand the collecting thing. I'm a bit of a nerd as well. I collect all sorts of stuff. But is it important, really? I guess, like what they look like and what the material they're made out of. That's the thing.
Go on, Liam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I did my best Blinking Man impression. Do that mean when the fella blinks? I mean, how important the kids really, because they're absolutely pivotal. You know, everyone's listening to Good Times will know that. I think they're massive. I think they tell a story in terms of, you know, you identify certain players, moments, and games in them. You talk about the material, for example. We just again plugging the last episode of Good Times out last week. Part 2 of 0102 should be out next week. We were discussing the 0102 third kit, which was salmon. It was quite nice, but it was quite a heavy material. I don't know if Les and Ian remember, particularly. It was very unusual football kits. So I get what you're saying, but let's have a look in context. Look at some of the issues when we knew we were getting Castore. Some of the discussion between us as fans would be, we'll look at the state of the Aston Villa kits from 23-24, where they were turned black and they were peeling apart. So I think technically they do matter, but I do think it's a big part of it, isn't it? Because as Ian says, you know, he goes back to the 87 kit. I'll always hark back to the Danker kit because that was the Everton I really fell in love with and really started getting involved with. And like you say, the colour of it matters, but like, you know, there's a big dip off between 1997, so from 95, 97 to 98, 99, and you know, Everton in a lighter blue kit. And don't get me wrong, it's not just an Everton thing, because I've said this before elsewhere before. Chelsea's Autoglass
that season
it's also a lighter blue. Also, just on, well, I'm going to segue whilst I'm on that. If you're ever playing a game of hide and seek, or you need to get someone out of somewhere and they're being quiet, Autoglass is the best way to do it. You just say Autoglass repair, and there's no way they won't just go high pitched Autoglass replace, and then you'll find it. So,
do you think
my 2 pence of wisdom for today? But yeah, I think the massive. I get why people don't, and I think we need to go back to having them twice a season, because I think it's saturated now, and it's leading to bad kits. I mean, some of the United and Spurs kits in the past years have been terrible. Remember, they both had like the ones with the faded backgrounds in 18-19. They were terrible. I think there is a saturation, but I think if you kept it for a couple of years and you get it right, it can mean an awful lot. So for me, it's absolutely vital. But I also get why, because people as intelligent as yourself and Gav Buckle and Dave say it's not for them, and you love football in a different way. It's absolutely fine. I fundamentally disagree with you, but I also respect you, so it's fair enough. But don't ever say this.
To be fair, you've not heard what I think yet. But anyway, go on.
Oh, I thought you were saying
No, what I was going to say when Liam said it, getting people out of places when autoglass replace. The new one it'll be their Pepto Bismol, won't it? If you've got nausea, somebody's got to sing along that.
I think, Liam, just on your point there as well, I think football kits now as well, what's doing my head in is a lot of the time they're trying to be too clever.
Yes.
You see a lot of kits now, especially in it seems to be lower league Italian teams. I go mad for like these really ornate kits. There's one with like
Venezia.
Not like Venezia, they're classic designs, mate. Or they were before they went to knockdown. There's one that's got like a sort of a harbour scene. It looks like Balamory or something on the front of the kit. And it's just like trying to be a little bit too clever. Now I understand sort of your kit having a tie to the team and the place and all that, and maybe there should be some sort of historical thing like the Archibald Leach on the Hummel kit, for instance. But
the Goodison Soundwave on the goalie kit from Hummel, that was black, wasn't it?
It was definitely black. I did like that kit though. We had all three of those kits between us. Joe had the black one and the green one, and I had the pink one, obviously. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, I think it's going a little bit too far, like you say. 3 kits at least a season for everyone. It's too much. I think
we've done it every year since 2002. We've actually 2000. Yeah. Oh, 2000. And I think it's probably my least favorite home kit. The one we had between 2000 and 2002 was the last time we kept it for more than a year.
Yeah, it's not right. It should be different, but I do think it's important because I also look forward to it, and there's nothing like the crushing disappointment when you get a shit kit. Yes. I can't wait to see the new home kit, and it's crap. And you're like, not like that. Dave, what are your thoughts on this then?
Well, I just, as like I say, I am quite nerdy, so I understand the sort of people interested in the collecting side of it. I get that and respect it. I agree with Les, with you, Les. I just think there's too much. There
is now, definitely.
Yeah, we should have it. I think having them, going back to, Brentford have done it, haven't they? They're keeping the kit for 2 seasons, and Luton did it, and I think I understand why, because they're such a big money spinner for the clubs, especially when you're knocking them out for 90 quid, and they fit in the size of a phone case now, because the materials are thin and all that sort of stuff. I get it. There just seems to be. I guess I struggle to understand other people's enthusiasm for it as much as that, but I've got a bit of a weird kink that I'm really into like 80s professional cycling team jerseys. So, you bring me up one of those up, and I go, that's Super Convex, or that's Euskatel, and that's Campagnolo, or and all that kind of stuff. So I get a bit excited about stuff like that. So it's it's a very blokey thing, isn't it? But I think sometimes, without getting too insular, somebody will post a picture up of a kit on our group chat, and I'll just have to mute it for 4 hours. Because I'm just like,
once we start reeling out the Adidas kits, fucking hell, look at these. You've got an Adidas kit. Just zone out for at least an hour.
We shouldn't have Adidas kits down the hill. Everton should never wear Adidas. It's a Liverpool affiliated. And look at Italy and Adidas. Some things just don't fit. I know there's that one top that is nice, that retro one, but generally it doesn't fit.
Oh, yeah, I've looked at the Como kit this season, and I think that without the red on, that's a perfect Everton kit. And then Italy's training gear and stuff. Anyway,
I think Everton and Umbro. I think
we could be.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
That's what those kits be with the Umbro badge on.
Look at the Rangers kit. That's smart. Yeah. That Rangers home kit.
Yeah. Anyway, Dave,
just a quick one on this, and you'll all agree with us. If we are going to ridiculously bring a 4th shirt out, let's prepare for a better. Not 9 o'clock on the day of the game.
I disagree with that.
You think you should just bring it out at 9 o'clock and then we play one game and that's it?
Yeah, because you said we'd all agree. You just assumed I would. I'm just going to disagree to the difference.
I remember the first time I met you, Liam, was the morning of that Sunderland game.
Yeah,
and you were.
I was raging about that kid.
Yeah, you were absolutely raging.
No, I was not happy about that kid.
What annoyed me slightly more was Sunderland totally missed the opportunity to do the ultimate banter thing and play in blue. They should have played that day when they
were Hummel blue kit that was nicer than
than our home kit. Yeah, they should have done. Right, Ian, we're on your question now. It's still topical, amazingly, but here we go. It's on the screen.
Hi guys, hope you're well.
Always.
Have the bookies stopped taking bets on Moyes picking last season's back four for the opening game of the season?
I imagine they have, because he's going to do it. He did it. Almost did it, didn't he, against Newcastle? Yeah. We'll see for Lille what he does, but I think he's going to do it. Liam, do you reckon he's going to do the unthinkable?
All I'm going to say about this is I'm going to go back to the 15th of March 2014. And as Jose Mourinho said at Villa Park, I prefer not to speak. I know this is no good for a podcast. If I speak, I'm in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Fair play.
Well, I guess it's a technicality, but I'm presuming Branthwaite will get the nod if he's fit. So that means that I can imagine it will be Mikolenko, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, and O'Brien at right back. So 3 out of 4, Ian. So I think that means
O'Brien at right back.
I can't see anything else.
No, I do think it'll be Roll at right back. Personally, I really do think they're setting up for that.
Yeah, do you know what? At the minute to take it. Do you know what? Even if we sign a right back, they ain't going to start against Palace.
No, not
now. It's too late.
Of course it is. Yeah,
we need them in at least 3 months before they're going to make the debut. Right, that's enough of football. Matt's asked. Well, a little bit of preamble as well. Had a horrible night skip in a hotel last week. No air conditioning, roasting, kids unsettled. What's the worst hotel experience you've ever had? Liam, I imagine you're a man with several bad hotel experiences under your belt.
The people with me probably had the worst experience. No, it was a joke. The first time me and Emma went away and did anything, it was Easter 2016. So she moved to Cardiff not long. So a lot of our weekends we were doing that rather than going away. Went to Edinburgh. I booked a hotel. Looked really cheap on booking.com. Didn't know how bad Britannia hotels were at this point. Just for those who don't know, they had Legionnaire's disease in the Adelphi in 2017, not 1973. You could go to the gym and it was cheap and the pool was warm, and then they said they closed it due to Legionnaire's. I was like, that was the 70s, wasn't it? When people eating quiche and prawn cocktail. Anyhow, I digress. So we go in and they give us the leaders to show us where to go, your rooms down here. Go down this corridor and there's lights like out the ceiling. There's decorating stuff on the floor. It's horrendous. With the back, go into this room and there's no window, no nothing. It's just like this basement room.
Yeah.
So I go to reception. I'm like, want to move rooms? You know, this isn't good enough. And the receptionist, Jenny, came up. Well, it didn't say on the website that I had a window, did it? I was like, I didn't realise that I had to specify that. Right. And I've stayed in rooms without windows since, but they normally specify like, and it, you know, as a one-off, it's kind of okay. It's a bit jarring in the morning and stuff because obviously you can't like sense what's going on. But I was livid and I was going to write this big complaint. And then I did some research, and there'd been someone who stayed in one of their hotels and the ceiling had collapsed on him. And Britannia issued a statement, and they said in the statement, Britannia Hotels ruled out a refund. So I was like, well, I might have a window, but that fella's ceiling fell on them, and they're like, we're not giving the money back. So it's probably a bit of an uphill task, but that's probably one of the worst. It's first to come to mind.
Yeah, Liam, I'm gonna pick you up there on Britannia Hotels again. I'm gonna do a hatchet job on them myself. So, funnily enough, it was at Matt's wedding. We stayed in the Britannia Hotel just by where Matt got married. And as we were pulling in, I booked it. Louise has never let me forget this, by the way, since I booked it. And as we're sort of going down the road, on the right, I think where Matt was getting married, or it was close to where Matt was getting married, but on the right there was a lovely hotel, really nice, dead posh. So we're going down there. Louise thinks we're turning right. I hang a left. Into the Britannia. And we get in there. It's like the carpets are mucky. There's pubes in the bed. it's just rank. It's like if it was on 4 in a bed, it just would not have passed at all. But yeah,
it's like the landlord's apartments in there coming to America, isn't it? Joe, where they have like the chalk outline of the dog and like
that's all that was missing, to be honest. Yeah, I mean the seal stayed intact, so I suppose I should like count myself lucky there. I will pass that message on as well. I've also had really bad ones in London, just really ropey ones with no lock on the door and things like that around Petticoat Lane. Would not recommend. Ian?
Well, I'm going to be working up in Edinburgh tomorrow, but it's just for the day. But Rington's used to sell like franchises, so we'd go up and like canvas like for a couple of weeks. And we went up in 2018, which was around the start of the World Cup. Been out, did our canvas and got back to our rooms, got to the reception, and there was me and another guy. And he says, "Oh, but no," I says, "Go on, I'll have room number 9." He says, "I'll take number 10." So I went into room number 9, decent size room. You know what this is for an adult staying in, one adult in the room. It had bunk beds. Couldn't believe it. He had a massive bed that you could barely walk round. And in my room I had bunk beds. So we went down and complained. He says, "Oh, we'll move your rooms and stuff, whatever." I was like, you know, it was the England. I think it was England's first game on a Monday night. I think it was, or around that time. I was like, "Oh, we'll sort you into something else." Look, I'm going to the pub, have a couple of pints. But just when you open a hotel room door and you just see bunk beds, you're like, "Oh man," you know what I mean? To be fair, the bloke used to give us a couple of cans on the night time when we went back and sat downstairs in the reception with them and stuff like that. But just when you see bunk beds and you've done a day's graft, you're thinking, "Christ Almighty." So I one night I slept on the top one, and I was
going to say, did you go top bunk? You got to go top.
Yeah. Like was an episode of Porridge.
Dave?
So I applied to Matt on this one. So in 1999, my girlfriend at the time was working in Paris. She was in the 3rd year of her degree. I was older than her. I was working at the time. She was still finishing off uni. So she had a job working for France Telecom. And obviously, it being France, all the big stuff's nationalised, and they have their own accommodation for staff if they're working in Paris or if they're coming to visit and things. Anyway, and it was very nice, and I wasn't allowed to stay in there because we weren't married. So, in case I brought down the reputation of the place, so she sorted me out. She sorted me out at a hotel. I mean, I'd gone on fumes. You know, I had hardly any money, and she was like, we didn't have mobile phones. She was emailing me saying, "Well, like, what's your budget and stuff?" So she got me this hotel in just off Place de la Bastille in the middle of Paris, and it probably had above it 1 star.
Oh God,
1 star hotel, and it was a modern front of the building, and you went, and it was obviously an extension, and you went through into, I don't know, I guess a building that had probably been there since the Revolution. It was really, really old, and the room. I went upstairs and I got into the room, and it was old, and the building was old, and it was clean, but it was just dead tired. I remember the bed linen was clean, but it had like burn holes in it, you know, where people have been smoking in bed and stuff. But like it the bed was clean and stuff like that. But what it didn't have its own bathroom, so we had to bathroom on the landing, and
never a good thing.
I know. But the worst thing was that because the building was so old that the floor had bowed. So where the door, the door to the room, there was a gap underneath the door, and you could get your hand underneath it. And I didn't realize that until I must have been the 2nd or 3rd night I was staying there. In the middle of the night, so like my head's right on the wall where the door is, so I turn over in bed and there's this hand.
Okay,
and you shoot like yourself.
What in the Addams family is that about?
Yeah, and like, you know, my pigeon French, I was like, no. Yeah,
I'd have just stood on his hand and then waited for the repercussions, just break everything, and then be like, "That's
could have been your lucky night, Dave."
Right.
It was a bloke's hand. I'm
not one to do it.
No.
Yeah,
what sign? It was bloke's hand.
And I said to obviously, I told my girlfriend the next day, and she could speak fluent French, and she had a chat with the guy who ran the hotel, who owned the hotel, and he was just. He wasn't quite as dismissive as he didn't say he wanted to window, but he was just kind of like, nah, no, I'm done.
Celebrate.
All right.
Alex
So, yeah. So that was. I mean, I've had some hot, sweaty nights, and when AC's not working and things like that. But that's the only time I've ever potentially been attacked.
Yeah. Wow.
Dave, did the guy say to you, here's one for us all, the guy, don't you open that trap door, you're a fool if you dare.
Beck and Boney, what a programme. Absolutely incredible. Laura, in honour of my pink card, not Laura's, that was the one I wore on the Radio Merseyside clip. It's in the cost, it's odd, it's vintage.
What?
It's £20 on Vinted. So an absolute steal that. But anyway, what's your favourite item of clothing, Ian?
I've got quite a few Parkers. Some I've got to keep in the loft, but I'd probably say I had one, and I'd wore it that much. The back had gone on it. It's a sky blue Fred Perry shirt, like polo shirt. And it's got like a thin bit of red on the neck and like dark blue. Lovely. I think Jimmy wears it in Quadrophenia when he's getting rung off his dad for being out late. So I had one, and then I bought another one. It wasn't that expensive, but any of me pretty green gear that I spent like daft money on my Fred Perry stuff, but my Parkers. So I couldn't really pick something apart from that. I would have thought I've got too much choice.
Nice.
Oh, me Everton kits.
Obviously, I was going to say, yeah. I thought it would be an Everton kit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Liam?
I've got a few nice things at the moment I quite enjoy, but I'm going to be quite specific on this because Gaty who's asked this question, and she was quite taken aback by my 98-99 jacket I wore to the Chelsea game last season, navy one with yellow. So, and she asked I leave that to her, which felt a bit threatening, mildly threatening. But what I'm going to do, lads, and only you being a host, is I'm going to leave it to you instead of Gaty, so she can, she doesn't get her paws on it. That's my answer. I'll throw the feeler one in as well because I know you want that. The feeler one.
Nice one, mate. They look better on me anyway.
I know exactly. I'll just give you your way, but yeah, I'm going to specifically say that's my favorite item, and I'm going to leave it to you. Not that I'm being like pointed towards a friend because I wouldn't be like that. I'm just
absolutely not.
No small talk here.
Dave,
I'm not sure. I'd say it's my favorite, but every now and then when I get asked to, I do play a bit of golf. I'm not a golfer, but I quite like in the better weather. I quite like 9 holes is about right for me. 18.
Dabble in it.
I dabbled, yeah.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I think it was spring of 2018. I think I got invited to play a game and I misread the weather, and I'm in the club shop desperately trying to find like another top to put on. It was a bit cool. It was dry, but it was a bit cool. And I picked up this it's like a windbreaker Adidas sky blue thing with a zip up and a like a polo neck type thing, stuff like that. And it has featured in every single set of family holiday snaps ever since, because it's the best thing for particularly if you go away in the spring like we tend to do because we're tight or poor, depending on which way you look at it. It's great because you can wear it with shorts because it's quite thin, but it keeps the wind out. Honestly, it doesn't matter what ice cream I've spilt down it or pasta sauce or beer, because it's nylon, it washes brilliantly. And but it has got ridiculous at how many sets of photos. In fact, we went to France last year. We went up to the top of the Tourmalet, which is one of the big famous mountains in the Pyrenees that they ride up in the Tour de France. And I'm stood at the top of the Tourmalet. And I said to Rachel, and it was warm. I didn't need to wear it. I went, get blue out. And it was in my rucksack. And proudly stood like that. So,
I like that it's got a name as well. Incredible.
Yeah, blue. Yeah.
I think mine quickly is I bought remember Duffer of St. George, early 2000s label. Ubiquitous, it was everywhere. I bought a Duffer of St. George t-shirt with Bada Bing on the front. And it doesn't properly fit me anymore. It's a little bit small now, but I cannot part with it. Because the Bada Bing on it as well, with every wash, it faded a little bit more till it looked like it was like really old, like a really vintage t-shirt. It's incredible. You can basically just see the two pink nipples on the B now and just about see the B. So it looks a bit weird and the woman's on it, but it's a belter of a t-shirt. I love it. I need to dig it out.
Did you wear that with jeans with writing on?
I didn't have jeans with writing on, but it would have done.
That's a lie.
Had I been able to afford the V shoes, I would have bought them.
As long as you didn't have Void on your jeans.
Oh, Void jeans. They were Jagabisu, weren't they? Right, speaking of clothing, John's asked this. It's slightly more disturbing take on clothing, but John has said it's a sunny day. Mike Walker will be sunning himself in his orange thong. What colour thong would other Everton managers wear while sunbathing? Dave, I think you've given us the definitive answer to this in the group if you want to read that out.
Right, with great pleasure. I was sat on a tram this afternoon on my way back, so I dropped my car off. My wife's car needed a windscreen. No one needs to know that, but I just thought I'd share that.
That's all right. You just fine.
It's a window into your neck.
No one wants dead air, do they? So you know.
So I was sat there, and I thought I'll go through the last. I'll do the full set, well, more or less the full set. So Ronald Koeman, he won't wear any thong because he's Dutch and a pervert. Roberto Martinez would wear whatever colour team he's currently trying to manage. Now, at the time I wrote that, I thought he was after the Netherlands job, so I said it'd be orange. But I've been informed he's not got that job.
He's not. Just quickly, right? Where is he going to fail upwards to next?
Barcelona.
He will, won't he? He will.
Yeah.
They won't learn the lesson with Koeman, and he'll end up at Barcelona. You're right.
Yeah.
He'll replace Anthony Flick, and he'll have Anthony Gordon. He'll be saying how unique he is, and I want to be physically sick watching it.
Phenomenal.
Oh, right.
And what he'll do is he'll bench Jamal until Anthony Gordon will do crazy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Carry on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Rafa Benitez, no one would know because you wouldn't be able to see what he was wearing because he's such a big lad.
Gravy colour. Oh, no,
Frank Lampard would be blue. Marco Silva. Moyes, Tartan. Howard Kendall would be black with a white waistband and a big G on the arse. And Walter Smith surely couldn't be any other colour apart from orange or maybe tangerine, not to antagonise anybody from that side.
You get lodged though, wouldn't it?
What?
You want me?
I said get lodged as thongs, so it was a bad show.
I love it. I'm only here for your puns.
Sadly, Sam Allardyce was missing from the list.
Flesh coloured.
I reckon. What? Flesh coloured.
Flesh coloured.
Yeah, he would. Or nothing. Or if he did, he'd have one nut hanging out all the time.
He'd have Visto on the front.
Not like him to drop a bollock, is it?
Right, we'll finish on this from Matt Jones, who said, "Our eclipses shite." I quite enjoyed yesterday's. I thought it was all right. It went a little bit eerily dark. It was, not as good as it should be, but I don't know. Ian, where are you on this?
I just got in from work and I was watching a bit of telly and it just started getting darker and darker. And then I looked outside and thought, oh, well, it's been and gone. That'll do. What's for tea?
That sounds pretty shite to me.
Yeah.
Liam?
I feel like they overshadow stuff.
Hey.
Dave?
Well, underwhelming. I said to my neighbours last night, I said, I'm just whelmed. I'm neither overwhelmed or underwhelmed. I'm just whelmed. So,
whelming. Yeah.
That's a good point. No one's ever whelmed. You only ever over or under, aren't you?
No.
Being gruntled. You know, people are never gruntled. They're always disgruntled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And people don't get scathed, do they? You can be unscathed, but you can't, as they say in Sopranos, you want to be scathed.
Yeah. Something can be scathing, but no one's ever scathed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange. Right, there you go. A little bit of etymology to finish. I like it. And that's been it for this week's mailbag. Nice one, Liam. Thanks, Ian. Cheers, Dave. And thanks to everyone who sent questions in. As ever, you make the show. It's all appreciated. And that's it for this week's mailbag. We will catch you next time.